Hello everyone, welcome back to another art video. Today's video is kind of special because I'm gonna do a review of my Sennelier oil pastels. So I have the full set of Sennelier oils. That's 120 colors. And this is how the package was delivered with this brochure wrapped around the box. On one side of the brochure you have Picasso's painting, and on the other side you have the color chart. These are the 120 colors you find inside the box. So some of you may already know that Sennelier is a French brand and it was established in the 1880s. The founder's name was Sennelier and his son later created the oil pastels on Picasso's request. Alright, so let's open the box. So this box is quite large. Each side is about 17 inches, but it's pretty lightweight and portable. I can easily carry it around if I want, although it takes up a little bit of space. So let me run the camera through all the colors so that you can get a close-up view. They're really vibrant and beautiful. So I like how these pastels are packaged. Each pastel comes in its own compartment, which is padded and quite compact. It stops the pastels from moving around and jamming on the sides of the box. So I bought this set brand new, but I have already used it in quite a lot of my previous paintings. That's why you see some staining on the wrappings. So I'm actually showing you a used box, but these pastels came pretty neat and clean, brand new. Let's take a closer look at the pastel box and how the pastels are stored. You'll see that these pastels are so rich in pigment that even the sides where the pastels touch the walls of their compartments, they have deposited some pigment there. So that's how creamy and pigment rich these pastels can be. It tends to get a little bit messy sometimes. You'll see that you get pigment all over the packaging as well as your fingers as you touch the pastels. So it's a little bit it works like lipstick. It's really creamy. Alright, let's test this out. So one thing I need to mention about these pastels is that they work pretty well on literally any surface, but I will show you how these different colors blend on Canson canvas paper. So I'm not putting a lot of pressure, but you can still see that I have got quite a lot of pigment on the paper already. When I blend it with my finger, you can see that it covers a bit of a huge area. So one thing I noticed when applying different Sennelier oil pastels is that they don't all feel the same. Some pastels feel harder than the others that are more creamy and buttery. Lack of consistency is something common in most high-end oil pastels like the Sennelier. So I think this is because these pastels are handmade and each pastel probably gets a different level of binding, pigment and other substances. So they all feel slightly different to each other. So this is one of my favorite colors in the set. You'll see that as I blend, the color changes. So this pastel box contains 10 Sennelier iridescent colors as well. This is the golden one. I hope you can see that it has a beautiful shine. Let's try a couple of more iridescent colors. So I actually love these iridescent colors. I think it's a wonderful addition to the collection. I know that some artists don't really use these, So if you are a realist painter, you might not find good use of these pastels, but for the type of paintings that I do, I find them to be very useful. Alright, now that you have seen how these pastels work on Canson canvas paper, next I'm gonna use Winsor and Newton pastel paper in 3 different colors, just so that you can see how these pastels work on a different surface. I didn't find a huge difference in the way the pastels blend in both papers. However, some colors seem to struggle a bit on the black surface. The pigment just didn't push through quite as well as the other two colors. But overall, there's really no big difference of what the paper is. Although I feel that slightly smoother surfaces work best for Sennelier. This is because the pastels are super creamy, and if you use them on a paper that has a bit of tooth, the paper's gonna eat up the pastel too much. One good way to work with high-end pastels like this is to apply a layer and wait for it to dry and harden before applying the next one. So oil pastels never really fully dry, but they do harden over time. What I have noticed with Sennelier is that if you leave it overnight, the last layer is usually dried and fixed enough for you to work a new layer on it. Another good use of Sennelier is to apply the final touches of a dried acrylic painting or an oil painting using these pastels. So I have a few oil paintings that I need to retouch using a Sennelier. I'll probably do a future video on that. Um, so that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.